everybody, welcome back to the Overflowing Glass. I hope you're having an absolutely beautiful week. I hope you're having a great year. It's already middle of February. I always say that weird. I always say February, but I know that's not right. February. It's the middle of the second month. And things are looking up. School has started for me. As of right now, knock on wood, have a 4.0. It's looking great, and I just started my new job and I'm loving it so far. So things are wonderful. That being said though, things aren't always wonderful. And that's something I wanted to talk about today. What I wanted to talk about was grief and grieving. I don't want to talk about grieving in terms of death because I'm absolutely not qualified for that. Even though I'm going to school for psychology, that's something I'm absolutely not qualified for yet. I haven't even gotten on that subject yet. What I'm talking about is grief from other losses, relationships, like romantic relationships, friendships, even losing a job, things that you've lost. I don't want to go hard into the death because I'm just not there. I'm not yet qualified for that. But I can tell you about my experiences in losing other things that weren't as, say, catastrophic as losing a person, but that still knocked me down. And how I like to get past that. So for me personally, I didn't realize until very recently that I don't grieve. Like, I literally don't grieve. I don't know how to grieve. And it came up actually during one of my psychology classes. We were talking about the different types of grief that people go through, and one of them it hit me. It's where you feel the sadness at first, but it's not like that knock you down type of sadness. It's just like, yeah, it knocks you down a little bit, but you still are able to go to work. You're still able to do the things that need to be done. And over time, because you're not processing it, you never really get to feel lifted back up. You never really get to feel the highs that you used to feel. And that's exactly what I'm going through. And that's exactly what I've gone through this last year. I have not been able to feel the highs. I haven't been able to feel the excitement. I mean, yes, there are times where I do feel excited, but there's always just that little weight on my shoulders. There's always just that little bit of tampering down of that excitement. And I wanted to get through it, be like, why is this happening? I wanted to analyze it. And I realized that I never really fully, completely grieved my last relationship. And I have not been able to feel excited about relationships since then. None. And I'll be honest, there's maybe a couple of handsome guys that I would love to go out with, but I don't think I'm there yet because since I haven't let go and I haven't properly processed my feelings, I don't want to get into a relationship with somebody and not be able to feel the good and not be able to feel the highs that are there. I know that there's highs around me. I know that there's these amazing elevated feelings around me. And I know that there's things that I just adore and love. And I'm at like 97%. I'm never 100% okay. And I used to be. But this past year, I haven't been. So I really wanted to look into it and really try to figure out, like, what do I do? How do I get through this? And the universe kicked my ass today. I'm just gonna say it. I asked for help from the universe to get through this, and be careful what you wish for. So today I had training for work, and it was only 4 hours. but it was at a different location than my normal working place. And the location I happened to train at was literally across the street from my ex-boyfriend. You know, the one that I feel all this grief about, right? Literally across the street. And I know he shops there because we've talked about it. So that was like, oh, heart-wrenching. And it was so nerve-wracking. Every customer I rang up, I'm like, please don't be him. Please don't be him. Like, I did not want to see him. I didn't. Thank God. And like going in, coming out of the building, parking lot, no, I did not see him whatsoever. So I was like, whew, okay, I'm okay. I got this. Finished up with work. And then I get on the bus. And so the bus drives right past his work. I've never seen his work ever. I knew where it was. I knew where it was by because my best friend had to work close by there. But I've never actually seen it. And the bus drove right by and I'm like, he's there and his car's there. Oh my God. But I didn't see him. But I still felt that anxiety. And then, so I'm driving home. Not driving, taking the bus home. And my bus stop, like literally my bus stop, was the house that he and I stayed at. It was an Airbnb that he and I stayed at a year ago when I came to visit him here. And that was the most magical weekend I've ever had. And that was my bus stop today. And so I just sat there. I didn't sit there. There's no place to sit. I stood there and I just stared at the house. And I felt like I was going to throw up, to be 100% honest with you. I felt like I was going to throw up because the anxiety, the memories, everything just came flooding back to me. And I got in touch with a couple of friends of mine and we talked about it. And they were like, feel what you need to feel. It's okay. Feel what you need to feel. And as I'm walking home, so the bus dropped me off probably about like a mile away from my house. Like there's not a direct, really close to my house stop. But that mile, I don't know, there's something about exercise and walking that just, it clears my mind. And by the time I was home, I was not only okay, I was great. I felt on top of the world. And that's when I realized that that house was similar to maybe going to somebody's gravesite or doing something that honors a memory but says goodbye. And what I've had to do is I had to realize that today is probably the last day that I will ever see anything that has to do with him. I'm not working at that location again. I have no contact with him whatsoever. I have no reason to be over there. So it was kind of my way of saying goodbye for real. And finally. And to actually say goodbye. I've never done that. I never actually said goodbye. So that got me wondering, what am I saying goodbye to? What is it that is holding me so strongly? And it's because I loved who I was when I was with him. Now, don't get me wrong, the bad was bad, you guys. We can't romanticize a bad relationship and only see the good. The bad was bad, and I am not going to downplay that. But the good was good. And that's what I'm mourning. That's what I'm grieving. But what about it? What about the good times were so good? How was I? How did I act? How did I feel when it was good? And so he's just like, when you think of stereotypical Californian, like that's him. Like tan skin, long hair, super cool, surfer, skater, amazing taste in music. Like he's a freaking cool guy, right? Like he's cool. And no matter how hurt I've been or no matter how bad he's been to me, he's a freaking cool dude. There's just no denying it. So, but what about him was cool? Like, what did I like, and how did I feel personally? Well, I started getting more interested in the ocean, in the beach, in this laid back, chill vibe. Because if you know me, you know I pretty much have a stick up my ass. I'm a control freak. I am a type A personality all the way. And he kind of taught me to let go and to just go with the flow. And he taught me this appreciation for this laid back culture. This laid back culture is part of why I moved to California in the first place. I mean, it's a big part of why I moved here. And it went all the way into even how I dressed and how I presented myself. And I can still do that. I can still be laid back. I can still be interested in really cool things. I can still be interested in skateboarding. My child skateboards. I'm not going to, but I love watching people do it. I have actually a lot of friends here who skateboard. I would just love to go to the skate park and watch them. If you're watching this, hit me up. I can't wait to go to the beach. That's gonna happen. That's definitely gonna happen. I love my sundresses and things that just remind me of California cool. I wear my Pura Vida bracelets, and actually this one has a little palm tree on it. I'm in love with palm trees. So maybe it wasn't him that I'm so drawn to. It's the lifestyle. And I can create that myself. And I've realized this isn't the first time that this has happened in my life. I had a best friend for 7 years. And we were like the mean girls, right? We were like the clique. We were so cool. Like Mean Girls meets Sex in the City. And it did end up like Mean Girls. Like it ended bad. Regina George, hello. That's how she was. But there were things about that relationship with her that I loved, and I took those aspects into the next venture of my life. So what I took from that relationship though is a love of having girlfriends, a love of having this group of ladies that I could just go out to coffee with or go out for cocktails and we can laugh and have a great time. I developed this ability to be able to talk to women about sexuality, about our body parts, our bodies, what we like and dislike, even to the point of toys, like very intimate conversations, but not with a romantic partner. Very intimate conversations with other women who might be going through the same thing that I am. I took that from this relationship with my old best friend and I carried it forward. So part of the way that I am grieving and am going through things is, yes, I had to say my goodbyes. I did. And I also had to really analyze, like, what is it that I want to keep from that? Because if nothing was worth keeping, I wouldn't be upset. There were things worth keeping. And those things are the way I was, the way I felt, my excitement for life, being laid back, not always having to be so hardcore in control. I actually gave up all my control to him, all of it. That's a whole other story. Don't ever do that. Don't ever give up all of your control. But I do need to be a little more in the moment, a little more spontaneous, more fun, more chill. I don't need to be so all the time. Right now, yeah, I have a 4.0. I missed a tenth of a point. A tenth of a point. So literally 99.90 on a paper, and I'm pissed. I'm upset with myself because it's not perfect. So my relationship with this guy has taught me that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to improve. And that's going to be part of my grieving process. I'm going to be okay with not being perfect, and I'm going to go to the beach, and I'm going to go to the skate park and watch people skate, and I'm going to blast my favorite kind of music and dance and just have fun, because that's what I'm missing from him. That's what I miss in this relationship. And that's something I can give myself. So if you're grieving something, a job, the end of a friendship, the end of a relationship, what parts of that can you bring forward to your next adventure in life? Is it, like me, a new sense of adventure and a new sense of fun and spontaneity? Is it a new style? I actually have done that too, with both the ending of the friendship with the girlfriend and with my former romantic partner. I got new styles. I'm styling. Not today though. Today I'm just in a little black tank top. Did you learn a love of a different food or culture or music? What did you learn that you could bring on to the next part of your life? Just because one part of your life ends doesn't mean everything from that part of your life has to go. If everything from my relationship and that part of my life went along with it, I would have to say goodbye to Starbucks. That's not happening. Just, yeah. You don't have to say goodbye to everything. And you don't have to say goodbye to the things that you liked. And you don't have to 100% hate that person or that situation. There was a reason that you were there, whether it was in a former job or whether it was with a friend or with a romantic partner. There's a reason you were there. There was something you liked. So what can you implement in your life that can honor that good time that you did have? It's okay to admit that there was a good time. It's okay to admit that there was a good feeling. There's nothing wrong with that. And I loved being just wild and free. And it's so hard because I am so type A. But that's what I miss the most. I don't necessarily miss him. I miss what he brought out of me. And what he brought out of me is fun and exciting. And that's how I'm gonna live my life now. So and if it weren't for him, I wouldn't live in California. At least not right now, not where I'm at right now. Because I moved to California to be with him. And even though we split up before I moved, I fell in love with it here and I never want to leave. So there were good things and I'm very grateful. I'm very grateful for the time that we did have together. I'm very grateful for the lessons I've learned. I'm very grateful for becoming more of myself. And I'm very grateful for learning how strong I am. And that's part of the grieving process as well. Learning how to look at the good and be grateful for it. And just let go of the rest. I'm learning the let go part. The control part of me doesn't want to let go. But I don't like being controlling, so I'm working on it, I promise. And it's so funny because so many people are like, I can't imagine you as controlling because you're so much fun. And I'm like, yeah, I am so controlling. And I'm so anxious. I'm not controlling of other people. I don't give a shit what you do. as long as you're not hurting anybody. But I'm so controlling of myself. Oh my gosh, it's so bad. So yes, that's what I'm going to take forward. And if I need to go back to that house, I might go back one more time to like formally just say, you know, like, this is goodbye. I didn't quite do that today, but I think I will. Not today, but another day. But I think I will. I'll go back and I will honor that relationship, and I will say goodbye to that relationship. I will get closure to that relationship. Yes, he and I have closure. He knows why I don't want anything to do with him. I know why he doesn't want to be with me. We have that closure as a person, but my heart needs that closure. So is there something that you can do to get closure from whatever you're grieving? For me, it's physically being there and physically saying goodbye, and I'm gonna do it. I've just decided it's gonna happen. But I think it's time to go study, because I am supposed to be studying from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Fridays, but because I worked and I didn't get home till 2, it's 4 p.m. now and I haven't even started. So I'm gonna go do some psychology homework and some statistics homework, and I am gonna fill my glass, and I hope you guys fill your glass up with love, so then you are free to give to everybody else, and I will talk to you next time.